Hi everyone, Kaiju Montana here. Now, I'm going to be saying you this. How do I organize my movie shelves? Now, you know how that when I actually get something that's on DVD and Blu-ray plus DVD combo packs and all that, I always move the shelves, move everything, keep them all organized and stuff. So, when I actually get something like a classic TV show on DVD that's released by that studio, by a movie studio like Warner Brothers, Universal, Shout Factory, I will put it in that section there to keep it nice and organized so I can be able to watch them. And I noticed that when I was watching these videos from Jay's Blu-rays, special shout out to him, when he actually get the items that he gets, I actually saw that he kept them organized because that custom hallway movie wall that he made, and I saw the way how he got those lined up, it's actually a lot different than me. And how are they different? Well, I noticed that I saw some Nickelodeon stuff that's from both Paramount and Shout Factory, and he had them together as part of the Nickelodeon lineup. Well, for me, it's just a bit different. When I get a classic Nickelodeon show that's from Shout Factory and Paramount, I don't actually put them together. I actually put them in their separate things. Like an example, SpongeBob SquarePants and Rugrats. They were released on Paramount on DVD with all seasons and stuff, and even one of the box sets, and I keep them in the Paramount lineup. The ones I get from Shout Factory, I put them in the Shout Factory lineup and all that. That's how I keep them organized. And let me show them to you right now so you can see what I mean. Alright, so here are the DVDs here, and you can see how I got them organized and all that. And there's one of the classic Kaiju movies, Godzilla, Kong, Mothra, everything. And you can see how I actually get them lined up so differently and stuff. There's one of the Sony Home Entertainment and Paramount ones. And down there too, alongside with Universal, of course. And you can see that there's an open right there, and the reason why is because I'm actually going to be getting the other Godzilla movies on DVD. Yeah, I'll be getting them on DVD, and even though you can see the other logos here, but you'll probably wonder why. So let's check out the next shelf. By the way, this is the cabinet that I kept them in, of course. So let's check out the shelves. Alright, so here's the shelf, and there's more of the Universal stuff that I actually have, of course. And there's the Warner Brothers lineup, of course. Now, before I get down, now you all be wondering why didn't I put the other Kaiju films with the other stations there? Like with Universal, Lionsgate, and Sony Home Entertainment? Well, the reason why I don't put them with Universal, Lionsgate, and Sony Home Entertainment, because I would rather keep the Godzilla movies like the way it is so they can be lined up together, of course. And now there's more of the Warner Bros. Sections because of the movies and stuff. And there's some that I haven't unboxed, so there's this one that I haven't unboxed yet because I gotta get the other DVDs. And there's more of the other shows, and then we've got Cartoon Network there, and you can see that the compilation ones that I actually have up front here were the first ones that I got, so I kept them up front, and the complete series sets would actually stay there, of course. And then there's more of the Warner Brothers one, so there's more of Cartoon Network, and I'll be unboxing this one soon, of course. And then there's there's some of the comedy ones, and then we got DC over here, of course, and there's going to be some more that I'll be getting soon. And then there's some from MGM, a bit from Hit Entertainment, and then there's some from Lionsgate, of course, and then there's going to be more that I'll show you downstairs. Alright, so here's more of the Lionsgate stuff, and some of the rest there. And you can actually see there's some DVDs and Blu-rays that I'm actually planning to sell, if you actually remember the video. And the reasons why, gonna get them in Blu-ray and DVD combo packs, and movie collection sets, and even reissues. I'll put a video of that in the link below. So first off, here's the Lionsgate ones, of course. before going through the rest. So there's so all of these are the rest of the Lionsgate releases, of course. And I know that these ones are compilations, including this one, but I actually do have that one on DVD by Shout Factory, because the three of these, of Wallace and Gromit, 3 Amazing Adventures, all the 3 shorts are actually, you know, the original films before it was restored. And now here's the Good Time DVD sets and stuff. And then we've got, don't know what that logo there is. And then there's The Wind in the Willows. And then here we got is the Paramount section here. And you can definitely tell that that spot right there is going to be where Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius is going to be at, which is the one right up there, but that's the original issue. I'm just going to get the 2017 reissue, of course. And then here's some of the TV shows. So there's one of the shows that are from, that says CBS DVDs, of course. Now, there's going to be more that I'm going to be collecting, of course, which is the original issues, of course, not the reissues. And then there's Rugrats right here, if you remember the unboxing. And then we got Ren and Stimpy, and then there's SpongeBob SquarePants. Now there's the compilation DVDs, because again, these were the first ones that I ever owned before getting the season sets, and I actually have 4 seasons right now. But I'm going to be collecting more of the seasons, and then I'll probably grab a used condition of the original issue of the best 200 episodes ever, and then grab the best 300 episodes ever. And now here's the musical one, of course, but I'm actually going to be playing to get the soundtrack. And then we got Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra, The Dick Van Dyke Show, and then some were released by Rhino. There's the 2 DVDs, one which is Sigmund and the Sea Monsters and Land of the Lost. And then we got HR Puffin stuff right here, which is released by Rhino, of course. Now, there's going to be some other classic St. Mario Craft TV shows that I'll try to get that are from Rhino, like HR Puffin stuff, because they're out of print, but I'm going to try my best, and I'll try to get the Bugaloos and even Litzville, of course. And then there's the complete series DVD of Sigmund and the Sea Monsters, Lancelot, Link, Secret Chimp. There's a new edition of it that has 4 discs, but I'm not going to get rid of this one, of course. And you can see, and then there's one of the 20th Century Fox ones, of course. Not as much, but I'll try to collect more, of course. And then here's the Disney lineup, of course. Now, the thing is, for Pixar ones, you see, when Jay's Blu-rays actually get these Pixar movies on Blu-ray, DVD, and 4K Ultra HD, he doesn't actually put them in the Disney lineup. He actually put them in the lineup of the Pixar sections, of course. But for me, I actually put them in the Disney lineup because that's where they actually belong, of course. Makes it more good, of course. And then there's more of the Disney ones. And then we're down to the Shout Factory section, of course. And for these open slots here, these open slots right here, which is, let me show you where my fingers are at right now. Now, the reason why is because these open spots right here are going to be for G.I. Joe Series 2 and Renegades. And then here's Transformers, and the open spots right here, 2 right here, and the next ones right here. They're going to be for Transformers Prime Seasons 1 through 3, and then Robots in Disguise. And then the next open spot right there will be Gem and the Holograms, right next to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And right here, that's where Power Rangers Seasons 1 through 17 is going to be at, of course. You know, going from this spot to this spot, all the way down to here, of course. And here we got here is, let me sit down, so you can see. There's more of the Nickelodeon stuff, which is from Shout Factory. You see, for Jace Blu-rays, he actually placed the Shout Factory Nickelodeon stuff right next to the Paramount ones, like up there, of course, up there, because they're part of the Nickelodeon lineup. But for me, I keep them in the Shout Factory lineup because it looks really nice with Shout Factory, of course. And then there's the complete cracking collection of Wallace and Gromit, and then Shaun the Sheep, some Sesame Street DVDs, and probably I'll grab some more. And then there's Leave It to Beaver, and this open section right here will be for Dennis the Menace, of course. And then around right here, that open spot right there is going to be for All in the Family and Maude, of course, when I get them. And then there's more of the Shout Factory section, and that open spot right there is going to be for a show that my dad actually checked out, which is called Freaks and Geeks, with Seth Rogen in it, of course. And then here we got is the End Circle lineup, which has Gumby, Zelda, Mario, and even Sonic. And then, even those ones are not from End Circle, but there's Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and Double Dragon. And then, going down to the anime spot, first off, we got the ones from Eastern Star, which is Lupin the Third, and even Ghost Stories. One from Bandai Entertainment, which is Ghost in the Shell. And then, here we got is the Fizz Media section for anime, Pokemon, and also Inuyasha. And I'll be planning to get more of the Pokemon seasons on DVD, and then I'll try to get the last Inuyasha DVD along with the movie, and then alongside with the other ones. And then here's Dragon Ball. Of course, which is from Funimation, which is next to Speed Racer. Yeah, I kept them organized in the Funimation spot because of the years that they came out. Pretty good lineup, of course. And that's how I keep them organized. But once I get more of the Dragon Ball Z's, once I get Dragon Ball Z and GT and the rest, it'll be up a lot more. And then there's more of the Funimation stuff on DVD, One Piece Collections 1 through 10, and I'll be planning to get more of the collection sets, and I'll have to try to get Collection 12 because, well, I'll talk about that soon, of course. And then there's some from the anime classics, and then there's Haruhi Suzume, and then down to the Blu-rays, there's one that's about Mount Rushmore and Black Hills. There's only one movie I have from 20th Century Fox on Blu-ray because, you know, the whole Disney thing. And then here's some of the Disney movies that I have on Blu-ray and DVD. And I have some Pixar movies along with it too. Because again, when Jace Blu-rays actually get these, he actually placed the Pixar movies in the Pixar lineup and just the Disney ones in the Disney lineup. But I keep the Pixar movies here because I just like it the way it is. And all the way down to the last one, and I haven't unboxed these three yet because I need to get the other ones. And then here we go down to the G-Kids section, of course. First, which is from anime, which is from Studio Ghibli. I started off with the Studio Ghibli ones because they're the very first ones ever. Now let me get up so you can see more. Ugh. Whoa. So there's more of the G-Kids stuff from Studio Ghibli and other anime movies, of course. And then there's one of the movies from Shout Factory, Transformers, Race the Titanic, and then the Leica films, anime, and then here's some Columbia Pictures movies that I have, and I didn't unbox these two yet because I had to get the other movies, of course, and then we got Paramount movies here on Blu-ray, of course, and I'm actually planning to get Bumblebee, so I could be able to plan to unbox this one, and then I gotta get the rest of the Mission Impossible movies before I do that, and yeah, and then we've got a few Lionsgate releases, and then I have 2 Criterion movies on Blu-ray and DVD, and I'll be planning to get more. So again, Lionsgate, and then we've got to the Warner Brothers ones, of course. And then there's more of the Warner Brothers ones down here, of course. And you can see I kept them really organized, because I actually put them in the year that they came. So the thing is, when I get a movie on Blu-ray and DVD that's either from Universal, Warner Brothers and stuff, I actually line them up like this because when I go on to Google and see the years they came out, that's how I can tell. Now I haven't unboxed the other ones that you can actually see here because I need to get some of the rest, of course. And then we got the Universal ones with DreamWorks. Haven't unboxed those ones yet. And then here's one of the anime movies, which is Fizz Media, that I have on Blu-ray and DVD, but I'll talk about something like that soon. And then down to Funimation. I need to get I gotta get the 3rd season of A Certain Magical Index, and same thing with A Certain Scientific Railgun, and some of the rest. Yeah. So that's how you can see I have my movie shelves organized and everything. So yeah, that's how I organize my movie shelves there. And again, I actually keep them lined up in the specific spots. So when I get a Disney movie along with Disney and Pixar, I put them in the Disney section. And when I get a Warner Bros. Movie on Blu-ray and DVD, I put it in the Warner Bros. Section. Same thing goes with Universal, Lionsgate, etc., etc. And when I get a classic TV show, I had to put it in that section there. I put it in the front of the movies because, again, back then, the movies were actually the first ones to come out on DVD and stuff before classic TV shows were. But I'll be planning to get a lot more, of course. Yeah. So be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like, set some comments, and hit the bell button for brand new videos. And I'll see you next time. Peace out, everyone.